All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Homeroom with Smooth. I'm Smooth. I got my boy Pipe Extra Reels here. You know what I'm saying? He recording roller coasters all across the country. You know, maybe even internationally. He's recording the coasters, the experience. Rating them. And, like I'm gonna drop his information down below so y'all can check him out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah. Go ahead,
Well,
go ahead.
well, thanks. Like I said, thanks for having me. Good to be back. I actually just got back. I was actually in Cleveland. I hit the two premier parks out there. I was in Cedar Point and Kings Island. Like I said, always good to see how different places are dealing with COVID. Um, so which is pretty interesting, and even places in the same state too, because I know, I guess, we'd have the issue with Northern and Southern California. They would I saw Northern and Southern Ohio kind of do things differently, but I will say it was definitely good to eat indoors at a restaurant.
Right, right. Sit down inside. Be like,
But like I said, it was fun. So I'm here to talk about current events. So so for you to spin me up on some stuff, and for me to give my unfiltered, unedited opinion and say, hey, that crazy guy's back. Get him off the show.
oh my god. So look, so first of all, we got oh man, I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna start there because that was something that just like blew me. Um, the Supreme Court hearing is going on right now. They're trying to confirm this justice. She compared herself to the late great RBJ. You're not that woman, okay? You just not. We gonna settle that once for all right here. You're just not that woman, okay? Okay, and even then, she's not a perfect person. She has her flaws, you know what I'm saying? But you're definitely not her. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see the comparison. And then she's trying to like flip flop on like gay marriage and all this other stuff. But I'm like, your rulings have shown you have a track record that's on record. It's public. I can go Google what decisions have you made, and I can see. Matter of fact, let me get this woman's name. Hold on.
Was it Barrett? Supreme Court nominee, Amy Barrett, right?
Amy Barrett. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Amy Barrett. Yeah. Yeah. All her decisions. You can see all her decisions. You can
Mm-hmm.
see that she's full of it. You can see. You can see it. Like, why are you lying in the court? I mean, in Congress. Why are you lying in Congress? Like, why? Why?
Yeah,
Why?
you know how people are. Well, I think the one thing I will say is that people are oblivious to what they do, and the thing is, and I guess we go down to I'm trying to think what the best word to put there without um trying to be, I hate to say it, bigotry. Would that be the best word? It's because I'm not saying, or maybe for a better word, you don't see how conservative you are, but that's even a bad word because I know not all conservatives are like this, but I guess old conservative nature, people don't, it's learned, it's instilled, and it happens for a while, for so much that they don't realize that's what they do on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it, and that's why I find it funny, because like you said, we could go research it. We have everything on paper, you
Yeah.
know, and 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 whether she, and that's the thing, and I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she didn't realize she was doing it, but you did it, and all you need to say is, hey, I didn't mean it this way. I will go reevaluate something. Don't try to like hide behind it saying, no, that's not me. I didn't do it. Like, obviously the actions speak for itself. And it's you have two things. You defend it or apologize for it. Don't try to say it didn't happen.
The
That
best thing she could do is apologize for it.
Yeah. Just
It
and,
means a
and yeah,
lot to so many people.
yeah, just apologize. Say I didn't mean it this way. I need to go and reassess everything. Like, and like that's what I mean. It's like she doesn't, and like I said, maybe if I give her the benefit of the doubt, I'm not really giving the benefit of the doubt, but that's what I would think. It's like, hey, you need to go. These are your actions, or just say, hey, even if you don't want to do a statement right now, I see what's being levied against me. Let me go check out my stuff really fast. And
Hmm.
then later come back like, oh, after further review, I see that I do have a track record like this. I don't mean for it to come out this way. I can see how it's construed this way. I will do my best in the future to make sure that my results are not skewed this way. But like, don't these people have PR people like
They
that?
do, they do, but they're so arrogant. They're so
Yeah,
arrogant, and they're like, "Yo, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The people they're gonna just buy it anyway." And it's facts because we
yeah.
have a lot of sheep in this country. A lot of sheep.
Well, that are people that they say I don't like. I said because it's the I guess for lack of a better term, I'll find it later. But bigotry, it's inherent, it's learned, so now it's commonplace and it's accepted. So it's less accepted, for people, to say, hey, there's something wrong with this, or hey, not even something wrong with this. Maybe should we look at this because this is not fair and equitable to all people,
Hmm.
and so that's like the best because I don't want to say conservative because conservative because it's okay to be conservative on certain things as long as you're not suppressing somebody else.
I feel I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like this. See, we we've started to lump these terms in conservative with Republican and
Yeah,
liberal with Democrat. However, the
yeah,
problem is being a Democrat. The problem is
mm,
being a Republican.
yeah,
Liberal ideas are not bad.
yes,
Conservative ideas in and of
are
itself
not
is
bad.
not bad. It's the parties themselves that are bad.
Well, and but that's why I was trying to say like for lack of a better term, just because I can even say the parties themselves are both not bad. It's the people using the party to forward an agenda that is unjust, and maybe that's why I say bigotry would probably be a better term, maybe not the most ideal term, but more so than because you could be a liberal bigot, you could be a
Yeah,
conservative, a bit like that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking that's a better term rather than just conservative or Democrat Republican because bigotry is just wrong, and maybe that's what it goes down to. And it's like she was grilled for 11 hours, and like we said, we have all this stuff and everything. So I'm like, oh, hold on 1 second.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I
I'm
think
back.
yeah, yeah, it's cool, it's cool. No, 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 no. But like, I feel like, man, like, really, like, people are so easily bamboozled, like
Oh
so
yeah.
easily bamboozled, with like, let's just like pivot real quick.
Mm.
The economy, okay? Like, oh my God, the stock market is doing great. We're doing great. No, the people are doing bad. And we're
Yeah.
at a point, we're almost at a point of no return because you
Yeah.
have you have massive layoffs. Okay, like
Mhm.
let's just look at like AMC and what like Disney just announced saying that
Yeah.
their movies, all their movies are going straight to the streaming service. You know,
Yeah.
and like they said all of them. Like anything they drop is going straight to Disney Plus. I'm like, that is
Yeah.
insane. That is
Well,
insane. When you look at the market value, like Disney
I,
produces a lot of the movies.
well, and I think and I'll
Marvel.
say because Universal realized it because I think we were kind of going that way anyway, and with the way the movies were going, and I'm not sure if it's ticket prices or maybe concessions because I'm trying to think because with me, I have no problem going to the movies. I have a problem paying an arm and a leg for simple stuff like popcorn is priced higher per ounce than a steak.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
So and then I realized I realized for a lot of people, yeah, especially for these family movies,
Hmm.
it's it's like when Trolls hit it too, and it happened during the pandemic, and that's when Universal pissed off AMC. So that and then AMC tried to clap back, and Universal's like, fine, because Universal, Disney, some of these movie companies, they don't have to go through a theater to get the movie out.
Yeah.
And now since everything's more expensive, the days are gone where we're like, hey, let me go to the movie theater. I'll go over there and maybe see what's there. Maybe I'll go see something. I know when AMC did this new distribution thing,
Hmm.
there's if I saw a preview, I'm like, oh, I'll go see that because for $20 a month, I can see any movie I want to. So now I would go see it, But before that, it's like I'm saving my movie for the Marvel movie, the action movie. Other stuff, if I'm interested in it, I'm gonna wait for it to come out home. And I think for the kids movies, that's what a lot of these families were doing. Because even with Mulan, do I spend $30 and watch it right away on Disney Plus or on Apple, or do I go and spend, and this is small, but we'll say on a smaller theater, $10 per ticket for a family of four, $40 plus concessions plus everything else. Concessions is damn well
Right.
almost more than the ticket.
You
So
out of
you're
like
spending,
$100.
yeah, no, exactly. So and that's the thing. So I think so. Back to the pivot thing too. What they were doing, they sped up the inevitable for movies in general, because AMC, they weren't doing too hot before the pandemic,
Yeah.
and now, and the companies like Disney and Universal, they make more money putting it straight to video
Yeah. Because they don't have
than
to print, they don't have to make those film things that whatever they
what.
give the movie theater to make it play, like they don't
Well,
have to make that.
it's not even about that. It's about the proceeds, because I think, let me see, because it was Trolls 2, Trolls World Tour. This was the one thing that kind of set AMC and Universal.
Okay.
It put them at ends, and AMC, they didn't want to see it as in, hey, we're doing this during this time in the pandemic. Um, they were I'm trying to think, because they're saying video demand sales. Um, yeah, they're saying, yeah. So it made $40 million over the weekend, and this is Trolls 2. So 5 million streams like that too, and then it made
Without,
about a 90.
without all the extra.
Yeah,
Just
no,
40 million
no,
people.
because what happens is, I need to find the story, because they're saying, because this is what they were saying. They were saying, because the film had a $95 million production cost, right, and 30 million spent on marketing. They were saying the film could break even if only 12 million people rented the film. And then they're saying in the first weekend, trying to think how many people. So the film was purchased. Yeah, this is crazy. Going on. But pretty much they're saying they only needed 12 million people to rent it to break even. And that just shows that, like you said, without all the marketing and stuff that they have to do, or not marketing, putting the film and mailing it to the theaters,
Mhm.
more like Universal they get more money per return going straight to video, because I'm not sure what the margin is, but the margin is higher for them to go straight to video rather than putting it in theaters, and that's what happened.
Right, right. And then when you have like, cause Netflix has been doing it, they've been upping their
Yeah.
production value like
Mhm.
crazy. Like they dropping like feature films. They got like full like household names on there. Like you had the Jamie Foxx movie that came out. You have the the movie that came out with Hemsworth.
Mhm.
What was that? What was that? I can't remember none of the movie things right
Mhm.
now. But
Yeah.
the Jamie Foxx movie, it was Power, because it had
Yeah.
him in there. It had the dude that was he played like the detective in the Batman movie, and then he was in a couple other movies. Like
Mhm.
he's anyway, like if they continued on the storyline, he was supposed to be Robin or whatever. But
Yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
The
get
guy for the because he was in Third Rock and everything too. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it just like I'm just like, dang, and it was a good film. It
Yeah.
was solid. The production value was solid. All
Mhm.
except it was just straight on Netflix.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Netflix,
here, I found it. Sorry. Go ahead. Because
no, 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 no. Go ahead, go ahead.
oh, so in opening weekend, pretty much it resulted in about $95 million gross. Right, that 77 million of that of Trolls went straight to Universal, which
Ooh.
is higher, which and that's more money
Oh,
than,
done. The movie theater
no,
is done.
yeah, and then pretty much that's more revenue for the studio than the first Trolls did in its entire run, its entire theatrical run.
Damn.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that was
Oh, it's
after
a wrap.
19 days.
Oh, it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. They're done. They're done. They're
Yeah.
done. Stick a fork in. your favorite movie theater unless it has something else
Yeah,
going on.
and then in the box office, it went to drive-in movie theaters.
Oh,
And it only made 60,000 in theaters, but it like I said, it made about 1 million, you know, in Philadelphia. Yeah, so yeah, so about 3.6 million for in the theaters for drive-ins,
see,
you
but
know.
that's the thing. Like people don't even know about drive-ins. Like
Well,
where
because
you can go to a drive-in. That's one. Two, there's not that many drive-ins,
exactly,
and they don't have that many show times. They only
yeah,
show like later on at night. They can only run so many showings, you know,
yeah,
because
yeah,
like they only have so many theaters. They only have so many screens, and then you gotta have people out there. Then COVID, like, cause to get concessions, like now the person has to get out their car, walk over to the little concession stand,
yeah.
buy the concession. Like it's
Nah.
tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Like for anything, for all of that. Like I think they had a rave that was like drive in, and
Mm,
they said you could like turn up in your own like area, but they had
mm,
like the whole like stage like doing the normal stuff, but you had to like be in your car and around your little area. Like it was different.
yeah,
It was weird. I gotta ask my little sister like what was going
mm,
on with it because I seen it
yeah.
on her like her snap. I was like, what? I'm like, hold on. I was like, that's down the street. I'm like,
Yeah.
how did they make this? I'm like, but they kind of got their cues from in England. Like they did a they did a they did a concert. They did a concert or whatever, and
Mm,
like they had people had basically like these squares, right?
yeah.
And it was spaced, and like that
Mm,
square was your square, and you could take
mm,
off your mask and you could turn up. They had the roof off the stadium or whatever, and
yeah.
you just enjoy the concert or whatever with your
Mm,
people. Like there was
yeah.
chairs in there too, and then
Nice.
like yeah. So then, but at the same time, like if you left, you put on your mask, you go to the bathroom,
Mm,
you get concessions, you come back, you take off your mask, turn up.
yeah.
Like, and I was looking at that, I was like, yo, that's so brilliant. That's
Mm.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
Well, I think a lot more because I think I saw some drive-in concerts. I'm not sure how they went, so I probably need to go look at the rules. But it wasn't like an actual concert. But you go there and it's probably like the same thing. So I want to see how more of these people are getting creative and like now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see how they get more creative with this because it seems like, well, especially in places like freaking California, it's not going away anytime soon because I think even when it's done, it's gonna be well, I don't even think it's gonna be done here for a while just because it seems like the governor is in no hurry to open anything that does not directly benefit him.
That's true. That's true. That's true. He been fugazi. He has a lawsuit. Matter of fact, small. It's not even a pivot. This is relevant. This dude has a lawsuit against him due to him
Yeah,
like his winery open and something else.
exactly.
Yeah, like yeah, and like so he I think he has court on the 21st. I want to say.
Mm.
I want to say.
Well, yeah, I think my biggest thing with him, and if this, I guess this goes to my business and my side hustle, with the amusement parks in California. First, I feel and people feel that he lied because he's like, "Oh, Disney guidelines is imminent," and then later he's like, "I'm in no hurry to put this to put this out there because it goes against our health first our health first approach." And that was my thing with the health first approach. It's like, well, and I guess if this was happening back like in April, May, I'd be like, okay. But others, it's October. And other places around the world have been doing this. Other places in the country have been doing this. These companies, like the big, because I guess California is one of the most unique ones where we have the big amusement park companies because we have Disney, we have Universal, we have Six Flags, we got Cedar Point, and we have
Right.
SeaWorld. All these places have the health first approach. They have the data. They have the experiment of what they're doing. These places, they have places open in other states and
Mm-hmm.
countries, and they're saying and no COVID outbreaks. And you're like, how is this going to my health first approach? And if you put it all together, it's like, okay, outdoor dining. These places have this. We have playgrounds that are open now. We got all these other places that you can do inside the state. You know, but you can't go on a ride,
You
and
can
like it's
sit down
making
in restaurants in San Diego.
no, and that's what I mean. But you can't go on, and that's the thing. It's so inconsistent. And like I said, you could go to the beach. You could go gather there. You could go run around on the beach and do stuff, and where you're congested with people, and it's just like it makes no sense,
The whole
and
thing
that's
is
why.
about open air. An amusement park is nothing but open air.
Yeah.
So if you just require people, yo, you can take off your mask when you get on the ride. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
these other places you're wearing a mask while you're on, like I was in Texas, and I wasn't like that. And say if you're on the ride and you take your mask off on the ride, they will stop you on the lift hill. They have cameras on, because they have cameras on the lift hill. So if they see you take your mask off, they'll stop the ride. And we had one and someone walked up the lift hill and was like, "Hey, it's like you need to put on your mask, or you're gonna ruin this for everybody else, because everybody has to get off this ride and walk down this lift hill, and you're getting escorted out of the park." That's that's what I'm saying. So, and like a lot of these places, they're serious about it too.
Right.
So you have to wear your mask on the ride, and that's like, and like, and it's it, and that's what I was looking at. So we have, in Target's open, but you can't go to the mall.
Right.
And that's why it's just, it's so inconsistent, and I think that's the reason why. So it's like, okay, what
There's
benefits
thousands
you?
of Walmart.
Yeah, as the thing, and it's like bars are closed, but his winery is open.
Right.
So like that's what I mean. It's just so inconsistency, and I think that's why he has like the lawsuit against him, because it's like it makes no sense. And as the thing, if everything was shut down, that's one thing, but it's like he's picking and choosing, and I think that's why he has his lawsuit, because
Mm-hmm.
and remember when he tried to close down the beaches in Orange County, it's like what
Orange
power
County,
reach.
Orange County wasn't going.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what are you, like, what's your power move? What is, what are you doing? And it's funny because I'm seeing more and more people, and I think maybe he is going. And the funny thing is, because there's no secret that he's going to run for president at some time or another, and I think maybe he's trying to go after a different vote too. So it's like, this is what I'm doing to keep, X, Y, and Z safe. And it's, but like you said, it's only for what people want, and not for the big things. So, and like you said, because of that, he's putting, like I said, because unfortunately Disney's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The little people who, the part-time, and that's like not even the full-time employees, the part-time employees that use it in conjunction for them to pay off their student loans, to do other stuff, to do the little part of the economy, you know they're going to get hurt. The people who, like said, AMC, it might go bankrupt, it might not, we don't know that.
Oh,
But
they headed out the door, man.
well, yeah, no, but in the meantime, everybody who they supply for a job, they're done, because it's like the people in that environment, the people, the porters, the concession food places, the people who have this part-time revenue to keep on going. He's hurting them for the long term, because he for not opening certain things.
Right. And
And
that goes to my other point I wanted to make about the economy in general, because you have all the structure for the economy is breaking all the way the fuck down. Like, it's
yes.
breaking all the way down because you have your consumer base, right?
Mm,
They don't have jobs, or they don't have
yeah.
jobs that's paying enough money to
Yeah.
consume and buy stuff. You know what I'm saying? All they can do is pay
Mm,
bills. So
yes.
now you have all these companies that like fighting and buying for the
Mm,
few dollars that are out there. And
yeah.
the wealthy people are just hoarding stuff. And they're starting to realize, like, oh shit, this is bad. We don't have a customer base. You got to use
Yeah.
stimulus money to
Mm,
put in the economy. Well, stimulus money, you're making it up out of thin air, because why? You don't have people working jobs anymore to put the
exactly.
tax dollars in. So thus you're going even further in the hole.
Yeah, no, and that's even some of the rich people like that too. It's like, it's because of all the working class that gives them the entertainment that they have. Those are closed because they can't do anything. So they're
Right.
not even stimulating. They're not even stimulating the economy. And and that's the thing. So and everybody, like at work now, everybody's buying necessities only, which is like the worst part about it, because people, it's like what they're doing. Like all they're buying are webcams and freaking microphones. Like that's all people are buying. And after that, it's no, and
That's
like,
serious though. That's real talk though.
yeah, because now people are realizing I have to go and work from home, so I'm in a meeting all day, now. And then and now, because before, like, people are people, they're, they thought it was temporary. So because at first, like, I'm just use my camera on my laptop or my iPad, or or my IMAX, they have one built in. And then they realize, like, hey, guess what, these cameras are garbage, because now, guess what, I'm in a camera all day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now it's like, okay, and now people, they're doing this, and now like, oh, I need a better microphone, because I find it kind of funny, because the one thing that I've been noticing on TV too now, and like, because I watch Skip and Channel Undisputed, I watch ESPN, these shows on there, and now everybody who is and you slowly starting to notice people at first, when they're and these are, reputable people, the first couple of weeks, they're on the camera, and you see them with, AirPods in or something, or the white headphones, everything. And now later they're going on, and now you see people, now they're better cameras, better microphones, better headsets, because now that's what we're going to. And then now some of them, they can't get them because everything's sold out, because now the money's not there, so the companies are not making as much of them anymore.
Right. And then you got to look at Microsoft just told, like, big company Microsoft just
Hmm.
told all their employees they don't even have to come back inside to go to work. You can
Yeah.
continue to telework. Why? Because they're
Yeah.
getting the same production value and
Hmm.
saving so much effing money by having you sit at home. They
Yeah,
ain't got
because
to
I
run the
remember
lights. They ain't got
Google.
to run the AC. The overhead is going down at
Well,
HP.
no, because I remember that, and then because I know places like the campuses, like Microsoft, a lot, they're saving money on too. They're saving money on food,
Yeah.
because I remember I had a friend, he was working for Uber, and he was a tech guy for Uber in San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
So we went and we visited him in his building and everything too. And I was like, no, they have sleeping rooms, they have food, stuff like that too. And they're feeding him. And he's like, yeah, if you work for Google, they realize, hey, if you could take a nap here and eat here, that's less time you're away from doing your job. And it's more, more production. But now they're getting people who are able to go, and if they're able to, and I don't think maybe they're not making the same production, but now they're just so used to that production. So they reset the bar. So they're saying stay there, because now the difference in production is negligible to the money that we're making. So they're still like, so they're still in the black, and they're probably maybe more so, because now it's like, now they don't have to buy food now, and now they don't have to pay the cooks, they don't have to do this. So so now they're able to lay people off, keep their important people, that just directly affect the product line, not the people that walk up to it now. And
Right.
that's, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah. And what's gonna happen? Like, we're destined for the economy to, like, have a huge catastrophic failure. Like,
Yeah.
we're destined for it. Like, because when you have AMC falling, you
Hmm.
have you have. I know IMAX is out the door. Like, they gotta
Yeah.
be there. If AMC has more theaters than IMAX, and IMAX gotta be out the door. They
Well,
gotta.
you got AMC, you got Regal.
Yeah.
You know, I know you got like the smaller theaters, like the Studio Grill. What else is there? I mean, I know out here we have Pacific theaters, but yeah, like a lot of these movie theaters is like, yeah, if they're out the door, and now because there's not any more of these events that are happening now too, because it's not a, because I think now, like, they're open, some of them are open at, like, at 40%.
Yeah. And it's not enough to stay afloat. That
Not
you're
long term.
literally in the red all day
Well, yeah,
unless
I
somebody
think.
comes in there and just blows the bag and, like, yo, you getting popcorn, you getting popcorn, everybody's getting popcorn.
Well, no, I think if once they're open more, you'll get that initial rush of people like, hey, there's something I could do. But then once it
Yeah,
becomes normalized again, people are, they're gonna go back and be like, why spend this? Like we said earlier, because Disney, they're putting Mulan for $30 right now. If you don't want to wait, why spend? And like right now, the movie, it's good for single people,
yeah,
maybe a couple. Man, that's maybe depending on the theater you're in. But it's like, why am I gonna spend? Because in California, I'm spending $15 a ticket at least.
yeah. Bare minimum.
So why are me and my girl gonna go and spend $30 in a theater when I could just go freaking get Mulan on Disney Plus for $30, and then I could go get a steak from TGI Fridays, and it's cheaper than what I would pay at the movie theater.
Yeah. TGI Fridays is actually out the door now that you mentioned them. They
Yeah.
they struggling. They fit
Yeah,
out
actually,
bankruptcy.
the one near my house, actually, I was driving by it closed, and I was like, "What?" So, but I wasn't sure if it was because of COVID or they're closing that one. But I have noticed stores that they were thinking about closing. They
Oh,
they shut them down now.
yeah, yeah,
Because I saw the pizza place too that I think it was a Pizza Rev, or
yeah.
what one of the ones that they got a new location, and then it closed, and they said, and they're like we're out. But I
Okay,
think that was just the effect. That was the effect initially of closing everything down.
right. Hold on, y'all.
So,
Y'all, give us 1 second. All right. Ooh, we're back. We are back. We
there
are
you
back. Oh man.
go.
I had to go.
Oh man.
I had to go. Okay. But anyway, but yeah, like back to like the economy is in such a bad state. Like you can't judge the quality of the economy based off the stock market because the stock market has people in there that already have money for the most.
Well,
They're
I
not.
think
It's
it's
not the
that.
everyday person.
Yeah.
The everyday person is struggling to make ends meet at this point. Like there's very few people that like are doing like really good. It's
Yeah.
not a lot of people.
Well, I think it's that, and they're saying it's kind of like, what are they judging it off? Is if it's based off of better than how it was a month ago, or like not, but it's not where we were as well too. So you
Mm-hmm.
can say, hey, we maybe we're rebounding slowly because more people are going to work and doing certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still not that because actually, do you know what business is booming right now? The
Mm-hmm.
daycare business is booming. I wish I had a daycare license. I'd be rich because honestly, I would charge regular price. Not even because, but I've been seeing what people are charging right now when people are paying, and it goes back into the rich ones again. Because now, if we're going for the future, and I hate to say it, if you come from a wealthier background, you are able to go somewhere for to school so that your child's able to go and get a better structured environment to go do their schoolwork, and you're still able to go to work because some of these rates are freaking ridiculous. Like that, like look at what people are charging for daycare right now. It is obscene.
I don't even want
Like
to look. I don't even want to look. That's why I ain't got kids.
it is
Look.
obscene.
But that also, oh my God, that pivots to my other point because I've seen now where where like Republicans are coming for you like you're like women's like birth like birth uh contraceptives contraceptives
Yeah.
yeah birth control and all that other stuff. They're coming
Hmm.
for your contraceptives, but see that stems into the point of like we're not reproducing enough. Like
Yeah.
period. Like everybody in our generation is like,
Mhm.
yo, this is not a good time to have kids. Like
Yeah.
this ain't it. This is ain't it. This ain't it. So I'm not gonna have kids. I'm not gonna have any more kids.
Yeah.
So that's where people's mindset is at. Or I
Yeah.
want to reach this level, then I'll have a child, right?
Yeah.
Like another child, like or have a child in general. So now
Yeah.
you have those people where they're like, where well you have where we are where it's like
Mhm.
okay like I want to establish this thing, you know what I'm saying, like my family and have another kid and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
but now it's like well I got to postpone that, and by postponing it you have all these higher the boomers or whatever, if
Yeah.
you want to call them that, or
Hmm.
the higher generation like above our parents, like
Hmm.
the great well
Yeah.
the grandparents
Hmm.
and the great greats, like they're dying off and they're like drawing off Social Security, and there's not enough population to replace them. Like
Yeah.
like if the census like the census would have been great. Like if everybody does it, like because I know I
Mm.
did, I
Mm.
did my census stuff or
Mm.
whatever. Like the numbers are gonna be crazy. It's
Mm.
gonna be crazy because it's gonna look like we have a whole lot, but they know in the next 10 years, we're not
Mhm.
going to have that. We're
Yeah.
not going to have that at all. And then you have
Yeah.
where Social Security got like, what is that? What did he do?
That deferment.
They deferment,
Yeah.
deferment. That's not good because we already have less people playing in as in general. Like the fund is basically instead of it draining out like through a funnel, you took the
Mm.
funnel off and you just let it free fall.
Yeah.
Like you
Well,
literally cut the bottom out and it's like, boom,
well,
without
yeah,
pouring more in.
yeah, exactly. Because because you're pouring more in, and he's like, "Nah, we're not doing that anymore. We're just gonna let it, let it pay and not refill it." And it's like, "Oh yeah, you think you're gonna refill it later?" And it's kind of, but now he's saying, "Oh, I might not do it." And yeah, it is. I
And
don't know.
yeah, and even when you go to refill it, there's less people working now.
Yeah.
And then you have so many people that's like dodging the people that's supposed to be paying in a lot, they dodging
Mhm.
taxes left and right, so it's just like, yo, we're in a bad place. Like, I don't
Mhm.
want to know what the next 10 years look like, because it's gonna be crazy. The next 10
It's
years is gonna be crazy.
especially because we're pulling out a lot of those bottom jobs that would help, you know, stimulate it, or just or I would say stimulate it, or just have it go, and that gives people the options to stimulate it, because now we're getting rid of those, because I think even it goes back to like I said, Cedar Point,
Mm-hmm.
the way, because it's in Sandusky, Ohio, so it's about an hour from Cleveland.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, we know, is not like a top destination for people.
Oh no, it's not.
Um, and then Sandusky is outside of that. So unless you know about, honestly, unless you know about Cedar Point, or you've been watching 90 Day Fiance lately, you don't know about Sandusky, Ohio.
Right.
But so they get a lot of their people working. They have people like students come in, they have a foreign exchange program, and that's not working. So that's not happening right now too. So this year, in general, they had issues with staffing. And what happens is that, even though that's the thing, a lot of people, like I know, because it's because of COVID right now.
Right.
So it's not a normal season for them. But I would definitely say I had like my worst day at a theme park was probably at Cedar Point. And this is like, and this park is known worldwide for its coaster collection. So it's a big deal. So like,
Yeah.
besides like Disney, like that's probably the one park people go to, that I have to go to Cedar Point. I have to go to Cedar Point. Like, if you know anything about roller coasters, people worldwide know you have to go to Cedar Point.
Right.
Um and because of this, now you said people aren't working, it's affecting their staffing. It has a long-term effect, because now, like, I know people this year, they're saying, I don't want to go back there, because it was just bad. And part of the reason is for, because like I said, people aren't working, so they can't keep people there. Oh, my dogs are barking. See, my dogs are barking. Hold on.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. What in the world is going on here? Team. Oh my god. Fantasy League is going crazy.
All
But
right,
yeah,
I'm
like,
back.
yeah, like everything is like falling through, and we're at an impasse. We're at an impasse.
Mm,
We're at an impasse. We're literally like billionaires and stuff, like giving a charity, like that's not gonna work. Like, giving a
oh,
charity is no longer the vibe. It's no longer gonna work. Like,
yeah.
literally, they're gonna have to be able to, like, hand in hand, like,
Mm,
hand money to people to go spend
uh,
on
yeah.
their
Or
behalf, just to
yeah,
stimulate the economy. Like, literally,
exactly.
that's where you're at.
Hmm.
That's where you're at, because they have too much, and then you have these mega corporate. I mean, you have these mega foundations or whatever, and they're giving money, and they're like sending money like overseas and stuff. And granted, like,
Hmm.
okay, the world outside is even worse right now,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if we want to continue to have this be anything,
Hmm.
we're gonna have to invest in ourselves, and so
Yeah.
you're
I.
gonna have to, like, direct hand in hand. I
Mm.
don't know if you're gonna have to run around with bags of cash or what you're gonna have to do, but you're gonna have to, like, start handing people money and say, "Hey, yo, here's $1,000. Go spend that, please."
Well, but I think the problem is too, and I'll say especially for California, we have nowhere to spend it. Because the thing is when you think about what people want to stimulate the economy, one, they want to invest in themselves,
Yeah.
or two, they want to go and get something for them, for like the bigger purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we cannot do that because places are closed. So, but like that, like the thing is, like, people, because there's more people who want to go buy clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't really go out and buy clothes,
Yeah.
because a lot of
You're
places, they're closed. Like I said, you can't go to the mall, you can't go to any of the designer places. The bags you want, like people want designer bags, everything that makes people want to get stuff, like because like you can't go out and window shop, and unfortunately, that's where we are right now because we're still yeah, Amazon's a big thing for a lot of people, but now Amazon moved from, hey, I'm getting this, to necessities, or people, they go out, they window shop first, and then they go buy it, they go buy it from Amazon. And right now you can't do that. So it's a twofold practice. One, it's like we have to find, and I'm not saying open up all at once, I'm not saying open the floodgates. We need to find a better way to have things open,
Right.
and and open, like, and we can say safely or open effectively, so
Mm-hmm.
that they can stay open, to get people out there doing things. Because the thing is, too, a lot of times people, like, we all do it when you're out there hanging out, because more people, they spend more money when they're not at work, because you're out there doing something, and then it's like, oh, and you don't plan to do anything, and then you're buying the trinket here, the trinket there, you're buying this, you're buying that, like, oh, I saw that in your window shopping.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people see. Right now we can't do that. So and that's part of the reason why, hey, we're not stimulating the economy either, because people aren't, like, no, you're not able to do that. You're not able to be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go out and do this and go spend that, because right now, like, what can we do? You could go hiking. You don't really spend money on hiking,
No, that's
or you spend hiking, like, you spend money on hiking like one time, to get all your stuff, and then if you do it a bunch of times, that's what you do. Same thing with camping. So that doesn't have that long term, doing that. Like, because that's the thing. You go out and hang out with your friends, you're doing that, like, oh, this movie's playing, let's all go to the movies. But you, like, right now you can't do that. So like we can't do anything.
yeah, yeah. It's all
Yeah.
bad. It's all bad. I don't even. Yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad. It's bad.
It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, what are we gonna do? Like, you can't do anything, so we're not gonna.
Yeah, I have no idea like where we're gonna go from here. Like it's just a really bad place to be in, man.
Yeah.
And
But
they're not prepared. They
no,
weren't
they're not.
they're not prepared. There's not enough foresight. I mean, you have people there like that pretty much they've been there for too long. They've been in government for
Mm,
too long. Like this is not their time. This is not their season. This is not what they should be dealing with. This is for people like you and me, like our
yeah.
age, to come up with innovative solutions.
Well, I think it's not even innovative solutions. Like, it's not even people our age. I think they just need to listen and have a better beat on the pulse. Oh, who's knocking? Hold on, someone's knocking on the door.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna briefly pause here. We'll be right back. Boom. Okay, and we're back again. Another brief pause. Brief pause. You didn't miss us. You didn't miss
Uh,
us. So I guess like another like thing I want to go back and cover real quick. Like, but I don't want to go too far in depth because everyone's done their deep dive analysis or whatever. Like both debates, just talking about them both. They're both trash. They're both the worst debates I've ever seen in my life.
oh
They're both
man,
the worst debates I've ever seen in my life. I'm just in my lifetime, I have never seen worse debates.
no.
I'm talking about
I
amateur debaters were better than watching that.
Yeah, that was, I don't. Uh, and yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. That it was just, it was sad.
It was atrocious. It was
It
atrocious.
was. I mean, at least, and it's
I
it's
won.
it's bad because, like, everybody's saying, like, how good the vice president one was, and I'm like, it wasn't good. It was just better than the atrocity dumpster fire before it.
Mm-hmm. Like
So
what is that called? The fly won. The fly won. The fly
mm,
clearly won.
yeah,
Of all the debates, the fly won. The fly came out on top. He got his 30 seconds of fame. He
yeah,
died this weekend because flies don't live that long. They live to
yeah.
like 7 to 10 days. So
Oh man,
he already been passed, but he went out with a bang. Um,
yeah.
But anyway, to pivot again, I also want to talk about man, what was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? Come on, I knew it. I know this. I know this. I know this. I wanted to pivot like one final time to
Hmm.
mm, mm, mm. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not hitting me right now. Like, because I know the Breonna Taylor stuff was stuff too. Like that. That wasn't that the Attorney General Daniel Cameron.
Oh
He is
man.
he is prancing over hot coals right now. He is trying to do whatever he can and not release the information. He filing
Yeah.
motion after motion. Like he's like, please give me a break. I did what you asked of me. I did
But
what you asked of me.
he has not though, and
No,
I think
no. You know what I mean.
yeah,
For the people that he was beholden to, like, I did what you asked of me. Why am I on the chopping block? Because you're the sacrificial pawn, bruh. You
because he didn't realize that, which is kind of
on
sad.
you didn't see beyond what it was. Like, you were the sacrificial pawn, bruh. They put you there for a reason. You're an easy scapegoat. You're an easy
Um,
scapegoat. It's easy to go, oh yeah, let's blame the bad guy. Boom, kick him out of office. We're
yeah,
gonna do AG.
yeah, and they probably have someone already
The sign
groomed.
is the deputy AG.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but they probably already have someone groomed already for that to be
That
like,
was
and
the
they,
deputy AG. They put the deputy AG there for a reason.
yeah, I
Oh,
know that's
we're
what,
gonna replace this guy. He's your fall guy. He's gonna
yeah,
take all the heat, and then we're gonna put you in power, and you're gonna be great.
yeah, but and then they already have the new deputy already selected and made out. And they're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, it's not. I don't even know what to say. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad.
Yeah, he should have known he was a pawn from the jump. He should have known he was a pawn. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I
some.
forgot to rename myself. Hold on. I forgot to rename myself. I'm just not seeing that.
That's why. That's what's mine. It's like,
Yeah,
type X,
yeah.
make myself a brand. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. With that one, I want to see how this comes out more. More so before I comment on this, because like I said, it's stuff's coming out here and there. It's not really the full story. The grand jurors are still saying like, what the hell? Because
Mhm.
I was even reading it, on when I was like at the airport for way too long. Um, ruined my trip.
Yeah.
um, so I was still reading about that. So I don't want to comment too much about that so far. Um,
Did you
but like we said,
see that body cam video that came out?
oh, the one where he went back in was like, oh hey,
Didn't get that one and the one when the SWAT team was initially clearing the apartment.
oh that I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that TMZ dropped that one. That one was long. It was like 8-9 minutes, man. And she was
Oh
like laying on the floor dead.
that one, yeah, okay,
Well, she was laying on the floor dying. And they like
yeah.
stepped right over her. You know what I'm saying? To go like check the rest of the house. And I'm like, damn, like what kind of investigative work did y'all do?
Well, it was yeah, it was that, and yeah, that's just like I said, it was just it's bad policing from top to bottom, and they, like I said, heads need to roll from up top. Um,
Yeah.
definitely, and until that happens, like it's nothing. And I am dead serious about that. It's like until stuff and until they get everything from top to bottom and say, hey, you know, how do we get this information? Obviously, that was erroneous. Those people need to go. Who called it? Who called it? And then so maybe how they got the information, and then the relaying of they got the guy that they wanted.
Mhm.
They need to do that, and then the people how they train them and saying, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z. Like those are the three departments of how they need to go. Their training, their I guess you could say their intelligence, and then the communication in front of all three of those, because when they got the guy they needed, they didn't tell this other team. That was an issue, for their investigation, saying, hey, this is this is what we're doing, who signed the warrant, we're doing a no knock warrant. They didn't say why they need a no knock warrant for a lady in her 20s, like for who showed. So it's like how they get their information. You thought she was a freaking like, what do you think? Like her house was rigged with explosives. Like she has a history of going and shooting everybody up. Like I that
She's
a
a
lot of stuff.
nurse. She was a nurse for crying
No,
out
that
loud.
that's my point. So it's like, what did they have that they said, hey, we need to have a no knock warrant, guns a blazing.
They could have took the no knock warrant and just arrested her, like arrested her before she even got to the house. Cool. Now she's
No,
at the station. Then
you
you
could have
you
you
could
could
go
have
to
had a regular warrant.
you could have went to the crib after that and then check the house after you
That's my point, and that's why I want to know, what did they have on her that states that she was so dangerous we needed a no knock warrant with guns, and just to do, that's what I want to know. I want to know what did they have on her that said she was so dangerous, this is what we need to do,
Mm,
and that needs to come out, and whoever was in charge of that, they need to go,
right, right,
because that what, like I said, that's what it comes down to. What made her so dangerous?
right.
And that's the thing that everybody's missing. So, and if you have some, and before they try to get the boyfriend to be like, oh, she was in charge of this terrorist organization, or not terrorist, this drug ring, and it's like, okay, one, if that's what you think she was, what made her so dangerous? Because if you guys were planning to go in there for a shootout and you guys were expecting freaking four people in a shootout, what information led you to that? And that's a thing that no one wants to answer that question, and which is why everybody in Kentucky, they need to roll,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, that's a question everybody's missing. No one wants to answer that question, because and that's why I feel bad for, well, the two cops that initially went into the apartment, because they were doing their job. The third cop just an idiot, but I mean, maybe he just thought, oh no, my guys are getting shot at, let me go in there and do something. So like,
He
but
was
those,
shooting from the other side,
no, no, I know that. I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. Do I think he was an idiot? Yes, I do. But maybe he was, oh gosh, my guys are in trouble. He's, like I said, idiot nonetheless, but he was there doing his job. So they had a reason to be there, right? So they were doing what they thought was the right thing. But everybody else, how they got to them trying to do the right thing to everyone before that, everybody in that process, they need to be gone too. Because if you're holding the one guy for, reckless endangerment, it's like, who put him there? He needs, that person who put those three officers there. They need to be there for reckless endangerment. They need to at least get that charge or more. And honestly, and they should be an accessory to freaking murder. Because even if you don't want to try the cops for murder, I'm I am I would be more okay with that if they charge who put him there, if they charge them for at least accessory to murder.
right?
Because the bottom line is, those cops didn't need to be there. And someone put them there. And until that person, people who are putting them there, until they're held accountable, it's going to keep on happening over and over and over again. And
Right.
that's the main issue with this. And it's not going to change until, because like I said, because like that AG, he's a fall guy. Everybody has a fall guy. So until we keep on getting these fall guys, and that's the thing, someone else is going to be the fall guy. But so, and after, and there's always going to be fall guys. There is always going to be fall guys. So until we get rid of the people who are replacing these fall guys, everything's gonna happen again. And that's my issue with everything on this one. It's that they need to be held accountable, or else nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna change. And people need to see that.
I have nothing.
Yeah,
I have nothing.
yeah.
You
Yeah, well,
really.
because it's easy to blame the cops that were there, and that's why I have to take myself out and put him in their shoes, and even the guy who was a dumbass, who needs to be trained, obviously needs to be trained better. But obviously, the thing, he was shooting in thin air, so obviously it's like, was he shooting and he was being dumb? Yes, he was. And if I put myself in perspective, did he didn't know who was who, and he's shooting in there, like that's the thing. So it's like, and so
Not
I
his
can't.
own partner.
No, exactly, and that's my thing. So obviously he was, and that thing, and he wasn't trying to go in there, and that's so one, he was trained wrong, but two, like he didn't go there because if I put myself there, I'm like, oh, I'm doing something, like you and I, we're police officers, and you go into a building, you know, and then I hear gunshots. I'm like, oh shit, like I don't want you to go down. So I'm gonna go in there, and am I gonna go guns a blazing? No, but of course I'm gonna draw my weapon and go down and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, can I fault him for that? I can say he did it wrong, but I can't really fault him for if he's trying to protect his partner. I can't fault him too much for that. But what I can fault, which is who put them all there in the first place, and why are they there again? And the thing is, it keeps on happening.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, my bad. No. All right. All right. Whew. But I guess another point is that matters. Trying to think what else. What else? Jeez, sheesh.
Hmm.
Uh, man, it could so much. Man, oh yeah, then the SNL thing, man. Like to pivot again, because you covered all of that. There's
Hmm.
nothing I can add. To pivot again, like you had the SNL stuff with Bill Burr, and everybody's all pissed off at him, and I'm like, for what? Everything he said was factual. Was factual. You can look up the stats. You can look at the sheet, and everything he's saying is true.
Well,
The primary beneficiary of affirmative action has been Caucasian females.
yeah.
That's just facts. There's no way to escape that. And for them to for people to benefit from racism and then to tend to turn around and claim victimhood at the same time is absurd. Is insanity. You can't have participated in the downfall and massacre of several millions of people, benefited off their hard work, labor, and off the like off the like you benefited. Okay, you benefited. You were a benefactor. You were there. You were with them.
Mm.
And now you all of a sudden want to fall back and be like, no, I'm a victim too. Y'all feel bad for me. Like, no, you're doing quite well. You're doing quite well. You are doing quite well. You're not a victim. You're just not above your male counterpart. And we shouldn't be fighting that battle. Like as black people, as people of color, we should not be fighting that battle. Like I might catch flack for saying this. I might catch flack for saying this. But black women being like in the feminist movement, like we should digress from that. We should just remove ourselves from that because it's not benefiting you. Like we need to just be about us and about our culture. Because y'all are there hardcore pushing this agenda forward and it's not even benefiting you because they still hate you have double jeopardy. Black women have double jeopardy. You're black and you're female. It's not benefiting you at all.
They
At all. Because it goes Caucasian male,
mm.
African, well, no, statistically speaking, Caucasian female, then it's African American male, and then it's like Hispanic male, Hispanic female, like you go all the way down, and at the bottom of the pecking order, after all these races and all these different people, it's black women at the bottom. You're the least cared for people. They love your entertainment. They love to replicate you. They want to be you. You are now the standard of beauty because everyone is doing plastic surgery to look like you,
Yeah.
but they don't want to put you up there. They don't want to put your face there. They want a fairer skinned face there with your features.
I I don't know how I feel about this. Like I said, there is more I want to go and not look up. I want to monitor cuz unfortunately I do think we're at the point where especially as minorities we can't do it alone, but in the same time we need people who actually are vested in our interests. So it's that fine, delicate game that, which unfortunately it's not right, but we have to play,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's frustrating about this because like I don't know how to describe it because like should we have to play the game? No, we shouldn't, but we do have to play the game to go and get everything done, and which is not fair. And then to play the game correctly, we have to find the right partners, which is hard enough as it is because to unfortunately we get the wrong partner so many times, which is why it seems it might be easier just to go and say screw that, let's try to play it on our own. But then when we play it like on our own, we don't get the right, like like I said, we don't get the right people, which is unfortunate. It's like or we don't get any traction. So like I said, it like and it sucks. But and I think unfortunately like it's designed that way. And I think when someone does get traction too, we're too quick to turn on our own people
Right.
as
Facts.
well. And
Facts.
it, and I'm like, no, like if one of us comes up, we all come up, even if we're not coming up for exactly the way that someone else would come up, or they're not doing everything that benefits you at that moment. At least it changes the perception. So then if for that one person changes the perception, so then you're like, oh hey, guess what, this person changes the perception, so that means someone else will look at you differently because if they're changing perception about the race. And unfortunately I think too we might be in something where we want instant gratification, and it sucks because it's a process. And I know everything that we do, I'm not gonna see, I'm I'm planting a seed in this garden, and I'm not gonna see it to fruition. But if I could do it so other people could see it to fruition and make it better along, that's what more people have to have the mindset of doing as well. So, and I think, and so if we do at least do it that way, where say, hey, we're playing the game by ourselves, and we know we're playing the long game, not the short game, then I think we can play it by ourselves. So I know I just flipped, so I sound confusing. So I think if we want instant gratification, honestly, we need to play the game. And unfortunately, we need to find the right partner to play it, and maybe we might get played, but eventually you have that instant impact. And if someone does play the short game and they get that instant impact, don't turn on that person because they're helping us for the long run. Sebastian, no, no. And then if we want to play by ourselves, then hey, we're playing the long game, which means and the things that we do right now, we might not see it to fruition, but someone else will down the line. And that's that's what we always have been. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and Jr. They weren't doing things just for them. They were doing it for their kids and future generations. And sometimes it happens sooner than you want, and that happens. Awesome. Then don't turn on those people. But we have to realize that if we're playing this game, it's going to take a while. And is it unfair? Yes, it is. But we need to stick with it and not turn on each other when stuff doesn't go our right way.
Right. 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 That's hard facts. That's hard facts. Like we really gotta, and that's the main thing. Like us sticking together longer. Like, cause everybody's in their own camps. Like you have I'm not voting because neither of these people represent us. Then you have the camp of, well, I'm not supporting your business because you I don't know, like I hear dumb stuff all the time, like, "Oh my
Mhm.
God, you married outside your race or something dumb." I'm
Oh,
like that, and I'm like, that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It really don't. Like in the grand scheme of things, no, like what is he doing? Like, is it
mhm.
beneficial to you?
Yeah.
Yes. Just shut up.
Well, yeah, and I think
Like, like
that's definitely what I hear.
eat the steak. I don't care if he did slap the waitress in the face on the way here. Like, all right, that is bad. But you got your steak. You're benefiting. Like
Yeah,
you gotta take the bad with the good. It's
yeah,
kind of a
and
poor analogy. That
and
was terrible.
yeah, no, but I think kind of like what you're saying. If someone is gonna help you out too,
Right.
like don't find a reason, don't find a reason not to support that person.
Right.
You know, or don't use it, or if someone does you dirty, don't use it as a reason to disassociate yourself with the whole everything, the whole process. So then you help out nobody. And I
Right.
think that's what people do, and we're like, why do that? Why not help anybody out?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, this could help you out. This, and this person can help you. It doesn't matter what their race, religion, color, creed, sexuality,
Mm-hmm.
where their money came from, where they live. If they're really gonna help you, if they're truly gonna help you out, don't find it like, oh, well, this person, he's not like, he does not live inside the black community, because it's like, and that's, you know and
And
it's dumb because
it brings the question: what is the black community? Like, what is the community? Like, oh, he got to live in the hood. Like, oh,
and
he has to
yeah.
live in this certain neighborhood with black people around. Like, is that where he has to live? Like, what constitutes this? What are these rules that you're making up?
Well, I think people make it the
That's
rule
what they
because
have to
that's
ask
it.
themselves.
Yeah. Well, because I think people, they
Because
want someone in their same exact situation, and I think that's bull. Because the thing is, if someone's in, and I'll put it this way too: if I live in the projects, and what is a person in my same exact situation going to do for me? Because if we're both in the projects and we're both struggling, how is this person going to help me besides being able to watch my kid every once in a while, if I have children? It's like they can't. I rather somebody who made it out of the projects and wants to be like, hey, I realize how hard this was for me. Let me do this, support people out there to get these people out of the projects as well.
Mhm.
And there's people that are like, oh, they sold out, they don't know this, they've gone soft, and it's like, no, if this person's gone soft and is willing to help me out, why am I going to chastise them or them?
Mhm.
Why am I going to chastise them? And I think that's what you said. People are like, no, they need to live in the hood. They need to do this, they need to do that, and you're like, why does that need to happen? Why can't someone, why, I think of it like school. It's cool when someone from, when you're in high school, someone who made it comes back in and talks to the school. That's
Yeah.
more impactful than than even someone a grade over you coming back and talking to your class. No, you want someone to be like, oh, hey, I'm an NFL player now, I'm this, I'm that, I work this, I sat here 4 years ago, so I know how you're feeling, and now I'm here, and you could do it too. That's more impactful than you being in ninth grade and a 10th grader coming in and be like, yeah, I was here like that too. It's like, no, it's like you're still pretty much in the same situation that I'm in.
Mhm.
So there's no, and I think, like we said, that's what people, we need to redefine the community, because honestly, especially in these days now, a community is not exactly just where you live.
Right.
It's how the people that you interact with, and how you choose to interact with them.
Right.
And if they're willing to help you, even if they live in freaking Manhattan, you know and I live in the freaking Bronx,
Right.
we can still be part of the black community, of the minority community, of whatever the hell you want to call it,
Yeah.
you know and so, and why turn away help because they're not hard like you, they're not, and I think
I thought
that's
the point was to get out of the struggle, like, and not struggle anymore. Like, why do you want
no.
people to continue to struggle? Why would you have a crab in the barrel mentality on stuff like that? That crab in the barrel mentality, it bothers me a lot. Like, and people express it in a lot of different ways, and I just feel like I feel like people could we could all go so much further if we just let people like do them like because 9 times 10
Yeah.
it's not even bad.
Yeah, if you let people do them, get an influence, and then come back and help you, like I said, even change perception. I mean, and that's like, and that's the one thing like I've noticed because I was in Kentucky and someone recognized me, you know, and it was, oh hey, like I could do that too. And then I have brand people like on Instagram. They're like, oh, like I didn't know that I could do this, or what's fun, or this is what you're doing. It's a community. And then people like it's funny when when they realize that I'm black, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, like I had no idea. Like there's not really much of them, and because I see black people riding roller coasters, but they
Hmm.
didn't know that, oh, I'm allowed to be passionate about it, or I could do this. I could add to it. I could mentor other people, and like that's the thing that people they and that's the thing. So then I change people's perception because and that's the one thing like I go to like I go to parks, right? And then even like my home park, people will say something and they have a question. So I just talk to them. I'm like, oh yeah, this is over here. And it's like it's they're like, wow. And they're like, you're really helpful. You're doing this. Like I had no idea, And I know part of it's like, oh, I'm black. So they're like, oh, like I'm not gonna talk to him, but I go out there, I'm fairly well spoken. I have information about the park because like Magic Mountain's my home park, so I have information about them. It's like, oh, what order do I go on this? What should I do this? Where's the locker for this? I'm like, oh, you could do this, and this. I'm like, oh, well, like thank you so much. And it's like they had no idea. But then and that's the thing, I and they're from whatever, but we're in that coaster community. But now I also changed their perception about the black community because now it's like, oh, I could go talk to somebody and I don't have to be afraid of that person, or I don't think they're I don't they don't think down upon them. So I change it so they change the perception. And that's just for me being me. And you're the same way. It's like people can talk to you about anything, and like I said, and you talk about it, it changes the perception. So then you do it for the next person too. So like that, and that's the thing, because and that's just you being you. So you're talking about the one community that you have, whether it's video games, whether it's your content creation, you're part of that community, but then you're also a face, whether you realize it or not, for the black community. And that's how you get other people, whether they're inside the black community, to say, hey, I could do this also, or people outside there to say, hey, guess what, all black people aren't bad. I need to get to know them, rather than saying, hey, they're all down there, they're all ingrates, not spoken, not smart, and because that's what people think, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And that's what we could change just by being ourselves
True.
and being authentic, truthful.
True. 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 Because I feel like a lot of black people fall into that demographic of, oh, I want to be this way because this is what's cool. This is what's in. I want to be this. I want to fit this demographic or whatever. When really you don't have to do none of that. You can just be yourself. Like
Well,
you
yeah,
be
you
yourself.
hear it all the time because I'm sure you hear it. It's like, why don't you talk black? And I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
It's like, no, like I am me, and then I know people who force themselves to talk that way so they fit in. And like it's a shame, or they force their ways to act a certain way or to dress a certain way.
Hmm.
And I'm like, why are you doing this? And they're like, oh, it's because I'm supposed to. And it's like, no, be you, be
Right.
who you want, represent yourself, and then let yourself represent the community. Don't let the community represent you, especially if you feel like it's not in truth with yourself. Because people they and this is like not even black people, this is all minorities too. And even freaking, I'll say not even all minorities, it's all people. I'll put it all people. Be yourself. If you could carry yourself in a good way and you're authentic, and people see, let your passion will shine through.
Hmm.
Because even if they're like, oh, that's quirky, that's the thing. I do coasters. People are like, oh, that's they said, oh, interesting, weird, and then they see the pictures and like, oh crap, those are really good. And these are pictures that I would see in a magazine or online for these for these for these companies. And they're like, oh crap, like you did that, how did you do that, to show them, like, and so they're thinking I have this big huge telephoto camera and everything. I'm like, no, it's only this. And they're shocked, and they're surprised, you know
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And then after that, now they're like, people see me, they're like, oh, like, where did you go this weekend? What did you do this weekend? Like, like they want to know more about it too. And it's just me being authentic and being myself. And so that's the thing. And at first, you can say it's a little weird because, and someone said it, someone said it today too. They're like, damn, they're like, because they're talking to my god brother, and they're like, damn, Alan has traveled more in this last 4 6 months than I've traveled in my whole life. Like he's living the life.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing. So it's like, and that's just me being myself and doing it, like, and that's what more people need to do. And be yourself, let your passion shine through, especially if it's good, you're not hurting people, and it brings good in the world, even if it's something that's not really like, and it doesn't, you don't have to be finding the cure to cancer. You don't have to be, doing this. Just if you're doing something and it just brings good, it brings a smile on someone's face. It gives them a new outlook on life. Then by all means, freaking, go ahead and do it and be authentic and be yourself.
True. True.
But
True.
especially if you're a minority. But that goes for everybody. But yeah, and don't let, and that's the thing too, is like, because you know we know it. We're supposed to be rappers or ball players. That's what we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, and the thing is, it's naive to think everybody wants to do that. Because yeah, like I love football. I love playing football and in high school and everything like that too. I played basketball in high school and college like that too. But it's like that's, but one, not everybody could do that, and two, not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
And that's why we stress education, to find something that you're passionate about so you could do it and you could be authentic. Because if you have the passion for it, you you'll make it you'll make it through. And you don't have to judge your success by all the likes, all the follows, all the anonymous validation. And
Right.
it's like I said, you do this to, even if you change one person's outlook to make them happier, to make them see things a different way, to change their mind, to say, think, hey, stuff's not all that bad, or I want to go out and I want to go make a difference. If you get someone to do that, that's that's success. That's freaking good in the world.
Mm-hmm. Facts. 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 Because even like with me, like streaming, like the types of games that I stream, and people are
Mm-hmm.
like, "No, why are you playing RPGs or whatever?" Like, there's people that want to see that, and I really
Yeah.
like those. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's something I can easily commit to because I naturally like it in general.
Exactly.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be playing those RPGs regardless. It's just like, why don't I just put up every time I play?
Yeah,
People
no,
get
because exactly, no, and the thing is too, and it's like, and you do something, because it's like, what if it's the one person that stops and goes and they see you having a bad day, and they get to have that interaction with you, that conversation with you, to say, hey, you know what, this person's doing something that I like, let me go check out, or hey, I could go do that too.
hmm,
You're possibly affecting somebody, you're bringing good
yeah,
by just being yourself,
yeah.
and
Like
that's all that matters.
like I got a random subscriber the other day, like from Japan. Like
Hmm.
and literally all she does is like anytime I have like a boss fight or whatever in
Hmm.
Trails of Cold Steel, like she just comments and she's like, yo, I like this portion and I like the way you set up this combo over here. Like I
Hmm.
really like this stuff. Like that's her deal.
Yeah.
Like she'll watch them and she'll find the boss fights and she's like, oh, I really like this and I really like this, da 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 da. So I'm just like, I'm really thinking to myself, like, man, I really got to go back and cut out just the boss fights, like
Yeah.
cut out just the boss fights, and then like make that its own thing because like people really want to see those for some
Yeah.
fucking reason.
Trust me, I'm thinking about doing I'm debating whether I want to go right now and just use iMovie, or actually upgrade to Final Cut, or I want to do Adobe Premiere, but it just costs too much
Yeah, for
for
what it is, like if you're not doing like all the extra stuff, Adobe Premiere is just like way too high. If you're not using every
well,
feature.
like the thing is, I wouldn't mind buying it, doing one flat rate. So even if it was $500 and I could use it, that's fine. But now they're doing that monthly subscription thing, and now it's like $40. So I think I'm gonna start on iMovie, and then I might go to Final Cut. If I get, because right now my new frontier, like I said last time, I'm starting to go into more videos. So I think I'm gonna start vlogging and stuff, and just get other content, and doing more videos.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm trying to go and just record the video. So I'm thinking right now it's gonna be iMovie,
Yeah,
in the beginning.
yeah. So I got iMovie right now, and that's
Mm,
straight. Like I put the like I'm gonna put the two pieces of this together on iMovie, and
yeah.
then I'm gonna make them one actual
Mm,
video. And like I want to eventually go get Final Cut, but I just
yeah.
know right now it makes no sense for me to get Final Cut because it's not like I'm producing like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
lot of content on that level.
Mm,
Like you know what I'm saying? Like once I get it to that level and I'm at
mm,
that level of production, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like then it's like, okay, let me do this. And then that's
Mm,
how my channel upgrades. Like
yeah.
that's like my next thing. Like you gotta like say some things. Like a lot of people they start off so like high. You're so focused on being like
Mm.
top tier with your idea or whatever that you never can get it going.
Oh yeah. No,
Like
trust me. I
yeah.
I let's see what I have for because for my coaster stuff, I started out with this, my phone, and then I said, oh hey, I want to get something closer. So then I got well, this is not it, but it's something like this. Because actually,
Mhm.
where is my camera bag? Well, and then I got this, which is like a point and shoot, but it was my Canon, which actually I still use, because I actually like it better than this. And then I got my mirrorless, which I got last time, but like I said, because I wanted because at first I was taking pictures and that was just my idea. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take pictures of, you know, I'm out doing this stuff. And then I was like, okay, I want to get better pictures. And it was like, I want to get closer. So that was my idea. And then I was like, okay, now I want to control stuff. And now I'm slowly going into video. Luckily, the camera I have is able to do both. But even my other one, like I'm still using my phone and everything. But it's like I don't need to start. I don't need that dedicated stuff. You know,
Yeah.
not yet. So that's what I'm slowly going towards. But like I said, I'm probably using iMovie until I could get over to Final Cut, and then once and like I said, I might go that way, but I might just say, hey, you know what, I could do with iMovie, because if I'm not doing the biggest production value, and maybe like I don't need the biggest production value too,
Yeah.
because it's just but
So
yeah, but I'm go back and doing that.
yeah, so then also like, okay, this is the last thing, and we're getting up off of here. We've been on here for like a while. So the last thing is, man, totally irrelevant, totally off topic. Yo, did you see that video with that cougar chasing that dude that was hiking? Like, yo, wild as fuck. I was shook. I was scared. I was like, yo, is it gonna eat him? He got chased for 6 minutes.
the
He went
funny
straight.
the funny thing is that I hike, right? So
Yeah,
at first I was like, whoa. And the thing is, I was at Chatsworth Park. And true story, my dog, because I let her off a leash and she just goes everywhere. She climbs and she went down somewhere and she couldn't get back up. So I kind of had to go down with her to go get her. And as soon as I got down, I showed her how to get up. She's like, oh, I could do this. And she kind of just left me. And we got up and there was a freaking coyote there. So pretty much my dog went chasing after a coyote, you know, and kind of like getting away. So I'm like, so at first I was like, damn, like that. And I was like, and at least this was a cougar, but I thought back to me and that coyote. And I'm like,
yeah,
damn, one, that coyote could have got me or my dog. And I'm
yeah,
like, I was like in that same spot. And then I was like, what would I do? And then I was just dying. Because at first I was like, uh so like I still like don't know what I would I don't know what I'd do. Like honestly, like if something like that just came out, and the things like out here, like especially because in San Fernando Valley, and like where I go hiking like that too, there's animals that come down, and there's coyotes, and I'm pretty sure there's other stuff out there that aren't just coyotes. At least coyotes, they're pack animals, and they're usually afraid. So like every once in a while, like you see a straggler, and you don't have to worry about it. But then I think of other stuff, and I'm like, oh crap, like that happened to me.
yeah, yeah. That like the whole sequence where it was like just coming after dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa. Like, and I was reading the comments online. Dude was like, yo, he's lucky he turned around and like faced off with it. Because if he had turned his back, it was gonna kill him.
yeah, yeah.
It would have killed him instantly. He'd be gone.
Yeah, because that's why a lot of animals, like they're like that. Like if you face them, they're like okay, but like they'll go because they want something easy, and that's why I'm always like which is why it's funny because like when you see like and we see it before, and sometimes in movies like you see like these wolves, and then you see like the dog goes out and faces it to like to protect their owner, and I guess and you're like nah like impossible, but it's like not. It usually it happens because if the dog's not ready to back down,
Mm,
um they're like okay, because usually it's like no, they want something but they don't want to get hurt, and if they think
mhm.
there's a chance to get hurt, they're like, you know what, I'm gonna I could wait 10 minutes and I get something that turns us back to me or something that's a run for me, and then I could do it,
Right.
which is freaking crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy, man. And then my thing is, how dudes sit down after that? Like, yo, I know, I understand it ran off into the distance. Like, bruh, there's no way I could sit down. Like, I'm
Nah,
thinking like, yo, I got to get down this mountain.
I would have been I would have only sat down like if like the a helicopter's above me coming to get me or something, or like I nah I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have definitely had to call somebody. I'm like, yo, hey, I need help. Send the chopper,
I,
send the forest ranger, the power rangers, send
oh,
something.
so I would have been like, I'm going straight down the mountain, not even a path anymore. I'm just going straight down, and someone's gonna get me.
Yeah,
Like, no, there's a path. Like, no, I'm going straight down this. Like, nah, like not even messing with this
the
anymore.
city's right there. Something, man.
It was, yeah, I would have been, yeah, I,
Man. But look, this has been episode, what is this, 7? Episode 7? I want to say this is 7. Hold on, let me
season 1, episode 7.
this gotta be episode 7. Hold on. Oops. Nope, that's that. This is episode 7. This is actually episode 7. Not counting the alpha and beta episode. This is episode
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
Okay. This is
Season
going
1,
up.
episode 7.
This is going up Wednesday, October 14th. Okay, it will be up Wednesday, October
Uh,
14th. I don't know what time yet.
mm,
I have to actually like edit the two videos together. So
mm.
I have a homework project tonight after it renders and saves. Um, but anyway, again, I want to thank, what I'm saying, Type X Thrills, for coming on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop his stuff down below. So y'all can go follow him. And with that said, man, that's it. This is our show. It's been Homeroom with Smooth. We out.